The Outer Worlds is doing it. Look at this graph, boys. That's right. The day has not even started. It's not prime time, and look at this. Oh my god. What an absolute explosion of players. You chuds said that the Outer Worlds 2 is gonna fail. Who's laughing? That's my bad. We're not actually looking at the full graph. Yep, that's on me, boys. That's on. There we go. There we go. There. Oof. That's not good. Well, maybe the chuds were right, and this was garbage. Surprising, I know. Who would have expected that? But in any case, here we are. And this was the last thing that I said that I'm interested about the Outer Worlds 2. Can at this rate it break 15k players in Saturday and Sunday? Now, granted, considering we already saw what happened here in the days when it got released, I don't think that it's going to be the situations that Saturday is weaker than Sunday. I think they're going to be equal. Maybe Sunday, as always, is going to just, push it a little bit like this over the top. But the question is, are they getting 15k? I think they are getting 15k. I think they are getting over 15k because we have seen a little bit about these graphs, and well, if we ignore the fact that it's just blatantly horrible, then we can do some things. This graph, the Outer Worlds 2 graph, I mean, is exactly a one-to-one parallel between the avowed charts. Same company, same type of game. The only difference is pretty much this bump right here. This is the only real difference between Avowed and the Outer Worlds, how these graphs have behaved and functioned. And I think it's a good representation of how absolutely disastrous the outcome for the Outer Worlds 2 is. Again, Obsidian should go bankrupt. They won't, because Microsoft is not going to let that happen. Because Obsidian probably is going to be making some kind of Fallout game, which I'm sure all of us are extremely excited for because how great this turned out. Yeah, no, I'm not excited. I'm not excited in the slightest. There was a time, not too long ago, like a year or two ago, before the disaster of Avowed, before the disaster of the Outer Worlds, where I was, okay, give the game to Obsidian and maybe we're gonna see what happens. Now I'm, nope. Fentanyl addict across the street, that's my dev. That's the boy who's gonna make the next Fallout because, man, he's probably living Fallout every single fucking day in his head, okay? You know what I'm saying? That's who I want to make the next Fallout game. Not Obsidian, not Bethesda, but some rando crack addict across the street in California because that man has experienced some wild stuff. He knows what true Fallout is, okay? Way better shot. But jokes aside, that's not a joke, by the way. I'm not joking when I say this. I would legitimately trust the future of the Fallout franchise to a drug addict better than Bethesda or any other subsidiary of Microsoft at this point. But in any case, it's time to make fun of these graphs. And I mean, it's actually doing it. They are breaking stuff. And we can gauge a lot of things from these graphs. As you can note, currently it is 12 UTC. It's not finished fully, so I think this is going to get to like 13.4k. But has the drop-off started? Well, we don't currently see it. It's a pretty good increase for now. Look at this. Between 11 UTC and 12, this is an increase of, how much is this? 1.3k, and then an increase of, well, that's actually significantly better. That is an increase of 2.5-ish k. Actually, yeah, 2.5 is close enough. Yeah, so it's pretty good, but it's already tapering out, as you can see, because, well, not the full hour, we're still missing a little bit, but it's not making it dead. And we can easily take this point of 13 UTC Standard Time, which is 1 p.m. for Americans, by the way, and we can look at where it was there. Well, it was roughly here, and after, at 2, oh, here was the drop off. And then, well, let's look at this. This was the release. 1, 2, oh, and it's starting to fall off. Here it took a little bit longer. And here, obviously, it was the start. It was the first day, and it only got released at 15 UTC. Oh, but we can just guess from this already that the drop-off is going to happen. Now, how big the drop-off is going to be? Well, probably around this thing right here. Because keep in mind, we already know that Avowed was trash, and the Other Worlds 2 is also trash. But in relative terms, remember, the Other Worlds 2 is at least a 10 times better game than Avowed. Because Avowed was just god-awful. The Outer Worlds 2 is also god-awful, but at least the combat's better because it's just guns. And The Outer Worlds 2 is roughly 100 times objectively worse game than Borderlands 4, but that's just food for thought, which is kind of funny, honestly. Like the video, by the way, right now. Takes less than a second, hyped up on a mobile device. And thank you for everyone who does it. I greatly appreciate it, helps out the channel, so thank you. I mean it. And if you think that this stuff is important, then definitely like the video, hype it up on a mobile device right now. Takes less than a second. Thank you sincerely. In any case, back to the good stuff. So, I think it can exceed 15k. It's hard to judge from this graph, but yeah. The interesting thing is here this. I remember seeing this in... Was it Diablo 4? Let me actually check. Diablo 4 SteamDB. I think I remember seeing this a long time ago in Lost Ark also. If you look at the day-by-day summaries of things. Because this is a very, very, very specific graph. Yeah, it's not exactly this, but it's kind of close to it. And Lost Ark, I think I also saw it here. So this is super sus because if you look at, for example, Avowed, you didn't actually see this. Graphs like this, typically, I associate with botted games. Now, granted, would they bot the game? Kind honestly doubt it. Maybe this is free copies, maybe this is something, but again, graphs typically don't look like this. It is incredibly insane that there's like these 3 types of bumps. There's this one right here. Then there's this one, and then there's the last one. The last one is real, but this is sus. And then the last time I saw bumps like this, it was in Diablo at some points. You can almost, well, you can see 2 bumps here, but 2 bumps are expected. 2 bumps are expected and they're happening here, but then there's a bump here, which is fucking strange. Typically, you expect something like that from botted games. Not saying it's botted, but I'm just really saying that it's strange that all of a sudden you have a graph like this that really can't be explained. Again, I doubt it's botting, but typically shit like this I see in botted games. But why would you bot the Other Worlds too? I have no idea. I don't think that devs are doing it, so this is something else. If you have, by the way, any guesses, and any guesses at this point as good as any, how do these things get made? I mean, it is probably something to do with time zones, because if you look at this and you compare the time zones here, you can see a dip like this. But it's, again, 2 dips. 2 dips are normal. 2 dips are classic, and almost every game actually has it. You know, it happens always around 17 UTC. And the same thing is happening here. Right here. Now, you could say that this is all the dads going to sleep, but I mean... What kind of dad is still playing the Other fucking Worlds, too? In any case, this is just a small interesting thing. It doesn't matter what happens, the Other Worlds has completely failed. Obsidian has completely failed, and Microsoft's pissed. Because you need to... I haven't talked about this, I was saving it for this video, but you need to understand, Obsidian is typically not considered a AAA developer, and now they are. You know why? Because Microsoft infused cash into them. There is absolutely no fucking world where Obsidian can actually develop the Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed at the same time, side by side. They just do not have the resources. Now, granted, Obsidian has what's it called? Grounded? I think it has a game called Grounded. They have a lot of games. But I do think that they have now the other worlds to Fallout New Vegas, Jesus Christ. They have a game called Grounded, which people like and it's sold pretty decently, considering its budget wasn't that high as much as I know. But still, Obsidian does not have nearly anywhere close to enough money to make the Outer Worlds with Avowed side by side. So Microsoft is gonna lay people off at Obsidian 100% because this is Microsoft's money that they're burning. Well, Microsoft owns them, so technically any money that they are burning is Microsoft's money, but that's besides the point, obviously. So I would expect at some point to hear layoffs from Obsidian Entertainment because there's no way you fuck up the Outer Worlds too. And Jesus Christ, where even is Outer Worlds one look at this. Oof, man, that's painful. Imagine that. Where even is Avowed? Oh right, it was somewhere around this. Yes. You cannot Avowed lost probably 100 million for them. Outer Worlds 2 is probably going to lose another 100 or so. There is no world where that does not have consequences. Even if this, again, the first time we looked at this, I said this. Even if the Outer Worlds 2 some magically how gets like 40k players, still a financial disaster probably. There's no way even 40k concurrent players is going to be enough to break fucking even. But they're not. They're struggling to get 15, and it's not looking like it's doing a good job. It's not looking like it's working out. Okay. Now I think they're gonna get past 15, but not a lot. Maybe there's still a maybe chance that they don't even break 15. Well, I mean today. I think they're gonna break 15 tomorrow, but I mean I don't think they're gonna break 15 a lot. I don't think they're gonna break 15 by a lot. 20k is probably completely out of the realm of possibility. But again, they could get double that, and this game would still be a flop. It is insane. Also, the user reviews are going down. They're gonna probably go down. Though they're gonna probably go down more than Avowed because keep in mind, Avowed was already a Vogue bait and switch that no one played because it just looked ass. This is kind of the same thing, but it's better than Avowed, so a lot more people are probably gonna buy into it and try it. But at the end of the day, Obsidian's dead, bruh. Obsidian has failed spectacularly. Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye bye.